Hello everybody, it's Vertical Sandwich. Welcome back to Let's Play Ratchet and Clank. Up your arsenal. So, I think I'm gonna just talk about some nonsense for a while. And by nonsense, what I mean... Oh, cool, a Gadgetron fender. Oh, hey, buddy. By nonsense, what I mean is just stories from my past. Just like randomness. Random stories from my past. So at one point in time... Oh, hey, guy. At one point in time, I was working in Utah. Must have been, I don't know, 2009? Let's go with 2009. It was 2009. Clearly selected the N60 store. So in 2009, I was working in Utah. And Wyoming. I was working for a company that was based in both. Like, I had an office in Sheridan, Wyoming, and an office in Richfield. And, I was doing, I mean, it was like a good job. It was a great job. I liked it. It was nice. And I found, like, I don't know, we were getting close to October, and the survey season ends then. Like, there isn't a lot of work because, you know, snow and stuff, and mountains. Mountains and snow. Snow and mountains. That's the name of the story. Not mountains of snow. Mountains and snow. Okay, we gotta figure out a way to get around this guy. And the job ends, and I'm like, I'm far away from home. Like, far away from home. They're like 2,000 miles away from home. And I'm like, well, I have nowhere to go. I'm far away from home. So I'm sitting there and I'm talking to some other people who are kind of stuck there. Or stuck leaving. I don't really know what to say. As far as what our situation was. None of us lived there. Like, so, I don't know where I'm gonna go. And so I just picked like 2 cities I've heard of, basically. 2 cities I've heard of and I've heard like fun things about. And one of them, Austin, Texas. Everybody's heard fun things about Austin, Texas. None of them are true. And the other one, weirdly enough, maybe for people, Tucson, Arizona. I heard good things about Tucson, Arizona. I had some relatives in Big Flats at the time. So, I'm like, hey, I guess it doesn't matter to me. I don't really have anything going on in either of these places. So I flipped a coin of where I'm gonna go. And it came up Austin, Texas. Right? Don't get yourself too excited. I don't have any good Austin, Texas stories. Like, I really don't, actually. So anyway, so I just drive to Austin, Texas. Whoa! That's a scary... That one was super scary looking. Are they supposed to be super scary looking? So I drive to Austin, Texas. And yeah, man, this is not a good story. I should have told the story about driving to Utah. Maybe I'll tell that story. You know what? I'm gonna tell that story. It's a better story. So I'm just out of college, right? And I've been working in Shelbyville, Indiana. That's right, that Shelbyville, Indiana. The great Shelbyville, Indiana. And I already had a job lined up. There's like a week left in the project, but I have like this job lined up in Utah, the aforementioned Utah job. And, so I leave. I leave with plenty of time to spare. I'm driving across the country. I got this crappy car. Like, my car was horrible. My car was like an early 90s Dodge Spirit, with just a ton of miles on it. It had a ridiculous amount of miles. That's how many miles. This is Dodge Spirit. It's like a cheaper version of an Oldsmobile. This is an awful car. And, I love that car. The car took me everywhere for years. But, so I head out, and it takes me, like, 4 days. It's like a 4-day drive to get to Utah. And, because I'm driving like 600 miles a day, And I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping just anywhere. If I can find a place to sleep in the car, I'm sleeping in the car. If I can find a place to, you know, find a hotel, sleep in the hotel. And I get to a place called Lehman, Colorado, or Lyman. I don't even know. Lyman, Colorado. And I stop because there's like a hotel sign off the interstate. It's like lodging and accommodation or something. And I stop, and it's like it's late at night. I used to drive as long as I possibly could, so it's really late at night. I stop at this hotel, and I go into the office. There's this like the most just unhappy looking teenager you've ever met sitting behind the counter. And I'm like, you know, can I get a room for the night? And he's like, what? I'm like, well, a room? Yeah, I need a room. And it was like $25. It was like 25 bucks. And I'm like, oh, okay, 25 bucks. That's super cheap, by the way. Super cheap at the time. It's definitely super cheap now. But at the time, that was stupid cheap. And he hands me, like I paid him money, and he hands me what looks like, oh man, I don't even know how to describe it, but it was just like this key attached to a block of wood, attached by like wire. Right, this is what he's handing me, so I'm like, well, whatever. I don't care. I don't have to care. Like, I just need a place to get out of, you know. I just haven't seen a good place to sleep alongside the road. And I just need, you know, a night where I can shower. Stuff like that. So, I start walking into this hotel. He tells me where it is. And, alright, I need to get out of here. I've been here before. I start walking into this hotel, and the place is the worst kind of dump. Where it, like, looks like they bought used doors. You know, like, none of the doors match. And I go over, and I gotta go through this door that it doesn't even like close all the way, and up this set of stairs that looks like it's made of like plywood or something. I'm not even kidding. This is a true story. And there's like fluorescent lights flickering and humming in this hallway, and I'm like, oh man, this is like the Bates family hotel, right? This is what I'm thinking. And I get up to my door, my particular door. I don't know, room 5 or something. I don't remember what room I was in, because who remembers things like that? Just Stephen King. And so, I get up to my room, and my room has a door that's clearly all beat up and made of just aluminum. It's badly painted. I mean, I'm not gonna say it wasn't painted. It was just badly painted. White, if I remember correctly. And I go through the door, and as I turn around to look at the door, and the lock, there's like a key lock on the door, just like standard, you know, factory key lock, like it's a house door. And so, I've already got that lock behind me, and I look at the door, and the door has, its secondary lock is not like a deadbolt or anything. It's a piece of wire. It's a piece of wire in a loop that is bolted to the wall that you slide over the handle. So if somebody tries to, you know, break in and kill you, they've got to get past this bolted piece of wire. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever, you know, like, I'm a dead man, who cares? Like, and I turn around, and I look at the room, and this is the thing, this is like the punchline of this story. It was the most beautiful hotel room I have ever stayed in. Like, all the woodwork was finished hardwood, and it looked like a rich guy's hunting lodge, is what it looked like. That's what it looked like. And, like, I don't know if they were in the course of remodeling this place, like somebody had just bought it, or what, but it was astounding. There was like a full-length mirror along one wall with this hardwood counter and shelf set underneath it. There were exposed beams in the ceiling that were decorated like hardwood. It was so gorgeous. It was such a gorgeous hotel room. Like, I've never in my life. I need something bigger for these guys. So yeah, I've stayed in hotel suites and stuff, and have not stayed in a hotel room as nice as that one. But it was this little hotel in Lehman, Colorado, that looked like the scariest place you've ever been. I've been scarier places since. But I mean, I've stayed in some real seedy places. And there have been some places I've experienced in my life where I refused. Like, I absolutely just wasn't going to take my chances. But yes, that hotel in Lehman, Colorado will forever, like, someday I will go back there just to see if they remodeled the outside and made the outside match the inside. And they'll probably charge me $130 for the room. But yes, it was gorgeous. I don't remember the name of the hotel. I wish I did. But I did look up reviews online when I got to my new destination, and the reviews were glowing. People were just like, this place is amazing, like, absolutely, yeah. And there were pictures of the rooms, and I was like, that's exactly what the room looks like. It was great. They could have, I mean, there is a chance that they put me in the one good room. I don't know. And I can't speak to anything that happened outside of my own experience. So anyway, 2 days later, I got to Utah for it. It took me 2 days because I couldn't get through Colorado. I had issues with my car, and I couldn't get through Colorado. I had to go through Wyoming. Which, if you know where Lehman, Colorado is, you realize how far away. I had to go through all of Colorado. But essentially, what it came down to is my poor car couldn't handle the mountains. It couldn't get up the hill. In fact, the only reason I was able to get over the Great Divide in that car, which, by the way, if you go over the Great Divide through Wyoming, you cross it 3 times. You go over and then back and come back again. Or go over again. But the only reason I was able to get over the Great Divide in that car was I learned this technique for my car of when I started going down hills, because Wyoming has a far more kind of gradual upslope, it's a more gradual upslope kind of terrain journey, you know? When I went down hills, I learned that what I needed to do was get myself going like 95 miles an hour to be still going 50 when I got up at the top of the next hill. So that was how I got to Utah. That guy's not doing well. He was stuck in the wall. So yes. So that's my set of travel stories this time. I got to Utah, and I got to this little town in Utah, right? And it's gorgeous. I've lived in Richfield, Utah. Lived and worked in Richfield, Utah for a while. And it's gorgeous. It's a mountain valley town. It's picturesque. It's exactly what, if you want to, like, if somebody was like, picture the most beautiful part of the Rocky Mountains, like, that's it. Like, oh, maybe not. Maybe there's some stuff in Colorado. I don't know. I never saw it. I didn't get there. But, yeah, it's gorgeous. It's in this valley between, like, these beautiful banded sandstone cliffs and then these beautiful pine forest covered, you know, mountains. And I get there, and I stop at this restaurant, and I'm just, like, chatting with the waitress. Like, I'm not hitting on the waitress, I'm chatting. I don't hit on people doing their job. They're just, especially in customer service, because their job is to be nice to me. Like, it's not fair to them. So, I'm not hitting on the waitress. At some point, it's not even remotely connected to what we're doing, like, or what we're talking about. She just says to me, she says, you know, Utah doesn't do tourists. You don't belong here. And I'm like, what? Like, I have a job. Like, I work down the street. Like, I don't know what her deal was. I've had people say bad things to me before, but just not in Texas. Everybody in Texas treated me awesome. I have no complaints about any place in Texas I went, as far as the people go. They were super sweet. People in Wyoming, too. And that's true. Texas treated me well. The only complaints I have about Texas are about the climate. And only down by the ocean where it's kind of Florida, hot and humid. So yeah, I mean, like I've been a lot of places. I actually think that if you tally it up, it's something like 37 states or something. And almost all of the ones that I haven't been to are concentrated either in the Pacific Northwest or the Northeast. I think I got the southern border covered. I think I got the southern border covered pretty well. Now, one of the problems with that whole southern border covered very well statement is this, and it's an obvious problem. There's one southern state that I haven't been to, and that's Alabama. I've never been to Alabama, but I have been to South Carolina and Georgia and Florida, Mississippi. Why won't you die? Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Missouri, I mean, all those places. And so then the problem becomes, you know, when am I going to get to Alabama? When am I going to be able to check Alabama off my list? Because a lot of these states, you know, it would just be, you know, investigating things or being in the area and stuff like that. But now Alabama is like, there's no, you know, like someday, like maybe I'll go, like, I want to see the Pacific Northwest. I'm going to go to Idaho, Washington, and Oregon. 3 states, like, I haven't seen any of them, so that's a whole bunch of reasons to go. But if I ever go to Alabama, it literally will be like, hey, I should take that trip to see Alabama. Like, just Alabama. It's the only state I have that's completely isolated from every other state. So that's a problem, right? It's like it's a very specific problem to have. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Alabama's not worth it. That's not what I'm implying. I would have the same problem if the state that was missing was... If the state that was missing was, you know, Arizona or New Mexico or, you know, Texas itself. Where I'd just be like, man, I got everything surrounding these places. I just didn't pattern myself very well. And the problem was when I was in Louisiana, I made a special trip to spend a bunch of time and see some stuff in, like, Mississippi to check it off my list, right? But then, and I knew it was isolating Alabama, but I wasn't going to drive all the way across an entire state to get to Alabama. Okay, so where does this path take me? Oh, it looks like it's going to take me to a refill room, which would be awesome. It does. That's great. Oh, a refill room with a Gadgetron vendor in it. Are you kidding me? Whoa, okay, you guys are triggered by the crystal? That's kind of mean. How are you surviving this? Alright, well that took care of those guys. 54 of 89 is nothing to sneeze at. We're in great shape here. Yeah, you and your little dog, too. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna go back and refill again and stop this video. We did way better this video, by the way. Way better. Alright, when I come back, more of this. Bye, everybody.